Like, I'm not supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep. I was on video chat with a chick, and I asked her what she was having for dinner, and she said this, and she was eating potato chips, and I was like, "What am I doing with my life?" I was like, "What am I doing with my life?"
I know.
He moved it.
I know. Well, here we're rolling, and the camera's on.
Yeah. Tell him about the setup is not good for our guests, man.
Yeah.
Spinny fucked up the guest setup.
What's
man.
this right here, man?
That's a box. You can put drinks on that. It's fun.
Interesting.
Yeah. I had an end table there, but we moved it to the bedroom.
It's a box.
Yeah, it's a box. It's a couple of boxes stacked up so you can put drinks. Hey, welcome to the What's Your Ness podcast. I'm Spenny, joined as usual by my co-host Alexander the Great, and we have a guest today, Mr. Safely. Is that what you're going by?
Stunt Safely.
Stunt Safely.
Yeah.
Welcome, Stunts, to the What's Your Ness
Safely
podcast.
for short.
Or Stunt for sure. he'll take half. Half will too.
Hey, so what? Stunts, so you're here. What Ness are we going to be talking about today?
I'm so lonely, Mr. Lonely. I have nobody to call my own.
Oh shit! I don't have my headphones on.
Oh yeah, you should put those on. Your sound's coming in good. They're plugged in and everything. Yeah, we kind of.
Mr.
Bro,
Lonely.
what has happened to these?
I don't know, man. They
I
sit
think
over
you
there.
did this shit.
I didn't do shit.
They weren't like this until you had other people come in here.
Okay, well,
The first time you had somebody come in here, I came back and they looked a little shittier.
God damn
Shittier. You know how long I've had these headphones? And they didn't get like this until I brought them to your house.
okay, so you wore them out just long enough so when they would start fucking up, you could blame it on me. So what's going on?
No. I took care of them, and then I gave them to you, and you started jacking off into the headphones or something. Like, I don't know what
And
the
you
fuck
still wearing them.
It's comfortable.
Okay. Well, so you said lonely,
Yeah.
so we're doing loneliness is what you're thinking, huh? We're going to do loneliness.
Yeah, something everybody, deals with at one point or another,
Yep.
Especially in this world we are in, where social media has everyone so superficial and thinking that they can do everything by themselves and they don't need anyone else in their lives, and until they need somebody, and then ain't nobody ever there for them. So
Wow, tell me how you really feel.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to get the definition going here.
Yes,
For the
yes.
people out there who don't know what loneliness is.
Definition it.
The definition of it is loneliness is a subjective emotional state characterized by feelings of isolation, detachment, and a lack of social connection. It is distinct from solitude, which refers to the physical state of being alone. So there we go. That's what we got for the definition wise. So what, gentlemen, what does loneliness mean to you?
Loneliness. Who the fuck knows, bro?
Why you invite this motherfucker here?
Less noise. For me, personally, room for growth, and it's empowerment, right? Because you get to weed out who's for you, who's not for you, and then you get to sit with yourself, right, and figure shit out. Which to me, that's the best way to do it. Who the fuck knows how to figure shit out for you other than you? You know what I'm saying? So that's what the fuck it means to me, bro.
So loneliness is like for a positive change, like a state of positive change.
He's saying it's a place of solitude.
Yeah, absolutely. Succeed in solitude.
Yeah,
sure.
Well, loneliness for me is the lack of connection. That's what I really see it as. It's like when I feel loneliness, it's a space where I'm not really on common ground with anyone else, and that's very lonely to not be able to find somebody that to collaborate with, that has the same thought process and drive that you have, and that puts me in a space of, loneliness.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I think for me, I like solitude too, and I think that it can be a good thing for positive growth. But loneliness, I feel like, is kind of the negative feeling that can come from too much solitude, or if you're not able to connect with yourself in solitude, you're not able to. I didn't mean like that, but
yes, you did.
But no, if you, I think it's that. It's like some kind of need is being not met, and that's what results in like the feeling of loneliness, as opposed to just like enjoying solitude and that. Yeah.
Again, I don't want to regurgitate, but he forced me to. That's a moment when shit. That's when it all makes sense, because nobody really can understand you too. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So everything that you saying, you might, and it's just that everybody has that moment in their life, right? But it's a moment for you to just get right with you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So everything that you think that people are supposed to, external sources can offer, they can't offer it. So you got to understand that everything that you want is internal. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that loneliness really is. It's just that you understand that, okay, I got me, and or God got me, right? So that's pretty much it, bro.
Yeah. And I'm feeling real lonely because, me and Stunts, we both got styrofoam cups, and Spinny decided to act like a fucking pussy today.
Yeah, I'm taking a little break from the alcohol and drinking water, which I have.
Whoa! No one said we were drinking alcohol. We just what?
Okay, well, whatever you're drinking in there. Instead of in a styrofoam cup, I have my Ness Culture. My happiness Ness Culture sticker on here, and I got my Grateness Ness Culture sticker on my whatever water bottle.
You get those free in every order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, NessCulture.com. It's not just clothes; they give you stickers too.
Yeah, it's not just hoes.
Yeah.
So
it's dry snitchers that make me want to be lonely.
Yeah, man. Damn. Did anybody get the license plates on that bus?
So, loneliness.
Yes, the one and only.
That's
literally what loneliness is. The one and only.
Yeah. Do you think men deal with loneliness different than women?
Of course. Okay. when you see that middle age, the 50 in his 50s at the bar, and all he has is thoughts. Nothing more than his thoughts.
Thoughts, no thoughts.
Thoughts, no thoughts. God. I'm not looking forward to that, Jack.
I'm saying, you got some time.
Shit. He said, give me another yak on the rocks.
On the rocks. Let it melt.
Oh, my God. Yeah, of course. Of course, man. But it depends on who you ask. I think that the options, right, for men versus women is much different. So, yeah, of course, we deal with it very differently.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think, Alex?
I think just the way society is set up, loneliness is a lot harder on men, because men are expected to have and do without being able to make mistakes. If they make mistakes, then they feel short of being a man. And society doesn't put that same pressure on women. So when you're alone and, your things may not be exactly how you want them to be, society puts a certain stigma on you also. But like Stunt said, it's like you got to kind of find your own solitude in that moment, and you can't allow, outside forces to, impose their will on you. But that is like kind of how society is set up.
Yeah.
So it's harder for a man to be, alone and find some common ground with somebody than it is for a woman. Women innately have value just in themselves.
Yeah.
Inside of themselves, they have value. the value that women have innately is inside of them.
Right.
And you know, innately the value that a man has is outside of him. But it's like when you put that, you know, inside of a woman.
What are you talking about?
I thought we was talking about getting over loneliness.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my bad. Spencer.
Yeah.
So
You gotta put it inside, right? You got to.
you think
Great things come out.
Yes. Yes. You know that value. You got to get that value in there, into their value.
Yeah.
So, Spenny, what you think, bro?
I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna follow that. I think, I don't know. Yeah, I think what comes down to letting go of those expectations, and it starts with recognizing what these expectations are. Why are you feeling this loneliness? And then, like, how real is this? Like, how valid is this feeling? Mm-hmm. You know, where is it really coming from? And I don't necessarily know, like, men versus women, because I'm not a woman, so I've never dealt with, like, female loneliness. But
you can be whatever you identify as.
I identify as a man.
But that's kind of sexist.
No, it's not.
Because you're a cisgender male and you're identifying as a man. I think that's homophobic. Okay.
Whatever it is. Did you say it on air that when you came in here, you were like, I need I'm not going to repeat what you said earlier. But
well, what did I say? I'm curious. I don't even remember what I said.
I wasn't here. I deserve to know.
I'll repeat it if I knew what it was.
You came in here saying you need a massage and a blowjob.
No, I said a massage or a blowjob.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to get both to figure out which one works.
I got a foot massaging machine right over there. It won't suck your dick, though.
You sure? Have you tried?
You know, that's actually a good point. I haven't actually, like, tried to go the distance with that.
Yeah, see?
But that's a great machine for loneliness, you know, if your feet hurt and you're like, you don't want to, you don't have a partner to massage your feet.
If anything hurts, you might want to put it in there.
I don't know, because it puts a lot of pressure on feet to get a good foot massage. So you gotta be careful. When the male loneliness epidemic goes wrong, we all start fucking foot massage machines. It's from Japan, and it's got 2 slots.
And man, robosexuals are a real thing, and we will not be shamed.
Yeah. Shouts out Cloud Foot Massagers.
No, wait, hold on. This nigga goes, when it hurts, you might want to put it in. Wait, what? Hold up. Hold up.
You gotta massage it out, man. Massage it out.
My mind just went to a whole nother fucking.
Okay, on that topic, can loneliness affect your decision making in your everyday life? Whether it's
if you start fucking goddamn massagers, that's some. Hey, bro, if you're fucking a massager, you're super lonely. Get outside, say hi to some people, feed some ducks, wave at some people if they wave back. Start a conversation.
Feeding ducks is actually a great way. If you're like lonely, you don't know how to talk to people, whatever. That's a great way to get, because then you're just like connecting with the animals, and then.
But then somebody's going to say something to you because somebody else is an animal lover, and then now they're talking about their dog, and you know eventually you can get around to their box.
Or some Karen comes over and is like, "Can you read the sign? You can't feed the ducks."
Yeah. That's the thing that happens.
Yeah.
That's the real world.
Yeah.
You know, but lonely guy, you got to get out there and deal with it.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. You never know when you get to push a lady because she attacks you first.
Look.
Oh, self-defense? What?
What are you saying, Stunts?
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness
is important
Mm-hmm.
when you're dealing with decision making, right, in your everyday life due to loneliness. And for myself personally, it can't, because you got certain things around you, right? Like for me, I have a rock father, right? Man's best friend.
So you got another nigga there.
Right? No, but this nigga, like, you know, I'm gonna slap him on his fucking head, right? He's not gonna judge me for it, right?
That's how you play.
Right. But you know, I said, however you see fit, like, you gotta understand, bro. you got to be aware of the fact that you're lonely first and foremost. Like nigga, you're lonely. So at the end of the day, or at the start of the day, rather, you just got to remain grateful for what you do have.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's how you combat this loneliness that leads to your decision making.
Absolutely.
Right. So it's as simple as that. Right. It's not a fucking long script. But next question.
Kind of similar line of thinking. Do you think it's healthy to be lonely sometimes?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I think it's, even
Fuck no, you need people around you all the time, popping bottles, shaking titties. You feel me? You need to have more stripper friends. If you don't know at least 4 prostitutes, like, what are you doing with your life? Like, you got to have more people around you because there's strength in numbers. And don't let these people tell you that there's not strength in numbers. You got to have as many people you got. Man, you got to have a friend that has a murder case pending. Look at Drake. He had friends around him pending cases, and somebody made a famous song about him because of it. You need more people around you.
Well, if you have too many prostitutes around you, then you won't have as many Benjamins around you. And
No. You shouldn't be paying the prostitutes. You never been a prostitute's friend.
No comment.
Well, I have a lot of prostitute friends. I used to be a rapper.
Never did it. Nigga never did it.
I have a lot of prostitute friends. They were super cool people.
Sex workers.
Oh yeah.
Sex employed.
Yes, they're very employed. And that's one thing I respect about sex workers is that they're working. They're always working. They try to work me, but I tell them I don't have no job. I mean, no. I turn into the Consuela. I'm like, no. They be like, yeah, Alex, when you just... I'm like, no, Mr. Peter.
That's an interesting voice.
Yeah. You don't know Consuela?
No.
Oh, but you gotta watch Family Guy, bro. Consuela, hella funny.
Oh, I've seen Family Guy a long time ago. New character or old character?
No, you just don't know, bro.
All right. Has loneliness ever caused you to do something that you regretted later?
Loneliness ever caused me? I wouldn't say it was loneliness, but I have jumped the gun on things and not looked them all the way through. Like, thought them all the way through because I had in my mind that I wanted this. It's like, oh, I want this. So then when it presented itself, I just took it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like even though that wasn't necessarily a loneliness thing, that's something you can do in loneliness. It's like, I want somebody to be around me. And then you take like the first option. And then now you got this fucked up situation that made that you could have been better off just staying lonely for a little bit longer and making sure that you vet the situation that you brought into your space.
Absolutely.
But if you don't, you can just take something and trying to get rid of the loneliness. And I feel like I see a lot of women do that, but I'm sure men, stomach that a lot, to where they just, it's just like, I wanted somebody, she came along, she wanted me, so I'm sticking with her, regardless.
Yeah.
And I think humans need to stop doing that. We need to be a little more selective on what we allow into our space,
Definitely. Yeah.
Because I'm always for like cohabitating. So I'm like, I don't avoid snakes because they snakes. I identify them. And once I identify them, I know how to deal with them.
Yeah.
So I don't just I'm not going to leave the entire jungle because there's a snake. I'm going to just deal with a snake the way a snake is supposed to be dealt with. Yeah. But I'm not going to, try to escape every time I see a snake. I know how to get away from a snake. I know what a snake is capable of, Yeah. So I'm more into the cohabitating. But then, like I said, I'm not going to invite a snake into my house also. Mm-hmm. With the same cohabitating, thought process. Yeah. You got to learn how to, deal with the dangerous things around you. You can't try to live a life without any danger around you.
Well, sometimes snakes look so cool, and you just want to bring them home and hang out, and then next thing you know, you got a security camera. Stunts, what do you think? Has loneliness?
What do you think about that, Stunts?
Has loneliness? Yeah, let's move on from that.
Yeah. Your friends push you, to talk to snakes, and then
hey, no, we'll let you go. Has loneliness ever caused you, Stunts, to do something that you have regretted later?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, man. Damn, bro, you got me going back in the goddamn archives, but
you ain't gotta go that far.
I think, for one, right, it all ties to like wanting to be heard, right? You get to want to be heard, and I see this a lot, particularly with women though. Really, right? When the shit that they've been traumatized to, they don't want to take it to the party that actually traumatized them, but they want to actually be heard, and they just go to another source, and it may be a third party. You get to, it's like, bro, why you didn't just come talk to me about this shit, right? And I'm not saying that just women, because niggas do it too, right? Niggas get to, they be heard by that third party, and it's like, okay, that third party hears me, so I'm just I'm gonna go, reward them, right, for listening. But that shit ain't right. It ain't right, because nigga, you was supposed to go talk to the person that internally that you had something to do with the situation. Period, point blank.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? Since we being vague about it, right? You know what I'm saying? I can really get into some increment details, but it's like intimate, rather, right? Intimate details, right? But yeah, I was like, bro, I shouldn't have been fucking on Big Back, because you know what I'm saying, I should have been talking to this with Snatch Waist, right? So it's just little things like you like, okay, now I shouldn't even did that. Now she wanna fall out. She wanna collapse in the parking lot because I don't want to commit. No, I'm getting too intimate.
Yeah, sounds like some scenarios here we may not want to put on the internet.
He's just talking about in general.
Generally speaking.
In general.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. General hospital.
Yeah.
It get real. It get real on my side, kid. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely.
What's the number one activity?
Fuck, bro. I was trying to see how long he's gonna let me do that shit. He moved on fast.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck, he moved on fast. I thought I was had him stuck for a second.
These people are watching.
He's like, fuck.
Man, fuck people. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, that goes against the whole point of it.
Like, right?
Oh yeah, we alone on this episode.
Right.
Yeah, no one's watching.
No, this loneliness episode.
This is how you combat loneliness.
Yeah.
Fuck people.
So okay, but what's the number
that's
one?
something I do.
What? Huh?
Huh?
Excuse me?
What's the next question?
What's the number one activity that you engage in to avoid loneliness?
I know Spinny's answer.
Loving myself.
In love with yourself. It's nice.
Honestly, in a weird sense, research. Researching helps me avoid like feeling lonely. Like I like to like know new things and like looking into new stuff. Like I can get caught up in that for like hours and forget that, you know, I might have wanted to see, you know, somebody or haven't seen anybody in a while because I'm like so interested in the new things that I'm, you know, learning. So I say research. Research is like probably the number one activity that I engage in that kind of like, you know, puts off that loneliness for a while.
Yeah. What about you, Sons?
I think it's engaging with my kids. You know what I'm saying? Engaging with my kids. I can never feel lonely because, you know, there's no history there that's traumatizing or that comes with complication. You know, they love me for me. And, you know, that's the number one activity that I can point to that helps me feel like, shit, somebody loves me. You know what I'm saying? Because loneliness at the end of the day is just it's a result of not feeling like you're understood, right? And then that in turn becomes like, I'm not loved, right? If you're in one of them emotional ass niggas, right? You get kind of like, okay, I'm not loved, but I swear if I engage with my kids, like I can see myself. Like I was just telling you, Spin, like I seen myself in them. I can, okay, boo, that's me before the world got a hold of me. You know what I'm saying? So I could never feel lonely because that shit right there is togetherness at its finest.
Yeah.
It's like they don't know you beyond your, you know what I'm saying, your everything that you've been through. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things like, bro, I could never feel really lonely because that number one activity actually helps me feel a whole lot more understood. Right. And it's like, nigga, oh wait, you laughing at my jokes, you know, because it get deep, right? Women, the way you, if you affect a woman or you traumatize you, like your jokes become less funny, right? But when you dealing with your kids, nigga, everything you say is like, it's like, bro, that's love, that's unconditional love right there. So you gotta kind of embrace that, and that activity is never gonna go out of style for anybody. I mean, when you bust your first nut, nigga, you don't understand what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
and the cool thing about that is that even the things that you see about that you feel about yourself, or that you see about yourself that you see as negative,
right?
They don't see that as negative. They see that as dad,
right?
Like dad just like that sometimes. You know, sometimes dad do that. Like he just do that. Like, but he
absolutely,
like, I love that nigga. Like, he took me to go see Whoopty Whoop. Like, I love dad. No, dad taught me how to cook an egg. Like if you little shit, but and shit that you think is a downfall for you is just it's just. It adds to the flair of what dad is to them. Right. Right. And you see it as a fault and they see it as, a unit. It's like a complete thing. Like, dad wouldn't be dad if he didn't yell every once in a while. Like, that's what he do. We clean up and then we cook dinner together. It's like, it ain't that big of a deal to them. They just, they know how their dad is, you know? Like, I'll tell you a story. One time I had a young lady at the house with me and my daughter was there. And I was downstairs playing video games or something. And they were upstairs. The girl was on the phone or scrolling social media or something. And my daughter up there looking at her tablet or whatever, right? My daughter hears me coming, right? Says something to the girl. I come in the room, da-da-da-da-da, whoop, whoop, whoop. So I tell my daughter to go do it, whatever I told her to go do. She leaves the room, right? I'm talking to the girl. She's like, your daughter is so funny. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, as soon as she heard you coming, she's like, oh, Lord, he's about to come, say this, that, and the third. And she's like, as soon as you hit the door, you said exactly what she said you was going to say. I was like, no, I didn't. She's like, yes, but I'm telling you, she's like, right before you walked in, she's like, he's about to say this, that, and the third. I got to clean up and do this. And then I came in bitching at her and told her to do it. And then the girl was just sitting there laughing. And then once my daughter left, she's like, bro, that's so funny. Your daughter knows you so well. She's like, she heard you and knew by your footsteps what you was on.
Yeah.
What time you was on. She was like, oh, he moving a little too fast. Yep, he about to tell me to do some shit. That nigga don't be walking that fast. So, like I said, it's just the kids, brother. That shit. Yeah. That's the funny thing about it, man. It's like, even something you think is a negative, people are like, oh, don't yell at that kid. They already expect it. It's like, man, dad might tell me to clean up, but he also tell me I can play the game. He also tell me I can chill. My daughter in elementary school used to come to me and be like, I'm not really feeling school today, Dad. And I'm like, all right, get back in the bed. Yeah. Because that's something that I could do for her, and I would allow her to do. I'm like, you can chill. Yeah. And that's something she couldn't do at nobody else's house but mine. And I used to let her know, I give you, because I feel like kids need mental health days too. Kids Absolutely. Feel lonely, and I let her have her space. And it wasn't like, oh, you at home, so you can't play the game, you can't watch TV, and all that shit they used to do to us. Yeah. I'm like, chill, but just know tomorrow, get it all out, have your R&R day. Tomorrow you going to school. Yeah. She'd be like, okay. Yeah. And I let her chill. Let me know when you're hungry. I'll make you something to eat. I'll go get you something to eat. Whatever. Yeah. But like I said, I also didn't step in her space because she obviously felt overwhelmed with school and the teachers and everything else. So I let her have her space, and she could chill and do whatever little stuff she wanted to do, and have her loneliness and, like Son said, get back to herself, find the answers that she needed to find inside of herself because she needed that day.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. For me, I guess you said you already know. So for what I engage in to avoid loneliness. No, but for me, I think you know, if it's like I want to kick it with people and no one's free, nothing's happening, or I'm just like don't feel like going out, but I don't feel like just sitting around meditating. Love movies,
All right.
movies and shows. Kind of like how you said you like to have a voice in the background when you're, you know, doing
That
stuff.
ambiance.
Yeah,
That,
yeah. Just like I think that's a good
that
way.
oral ambiance.
Yeah, for me, it's sometimes video games, but then it's like, oh, I want to deal with people online with these video games, so I can get my ass kicked in Apex. And
Yeah, bro, we gotta play. Have you played since?
I have not played in a long time.
But we have to get on. Like it's gonna be so easier for me to yell at y'all now because the TTK is so slower. So
Yeah.
y'all gonna die faster, so I can
God.
yell quicker.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? How did you die? It's like it's hard to play now.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna make me feel very lonely.
Yeah. Bro, I didn't pull nothing last night.
Where the fuck is Wilbur?
Wilbur was bugging last night, right? He was doing the fool.
Right.
Fuck, bro.
Oh, for real.
How Wilbur do that shit, bro?
Good morning. Did I hear my name being spoken of, gentlemen?
Wilbur.
Good morning.
Wilbur, what's up, bro?
Where the fuck you been, dog?
It's so good to see you again. Last night I took down the fairest of maidens. I was doing nothing but macking freaks and clapping cheeks. Oh, gosh darn evening. Oh, well, let me show you this fair maiden who allowed me into her bed last night. I took a little video of me sharing a bed with the maiden.
Wilbur!
Oh, yeah.
Wilbur! Wilbur! Wilbur!
Kind of big.
Oh, thick is an understatement, my dear friend.
Wilbur, how you pull that?
Well, I don't rise and tell, but all night she was complimenting me on my fit, from the shirt to the undies to the socks. The maidens love the Ness culture, methinks. Anyways, I'm a bit parched and starving from a long night of passionate, ravenous lovemaking, so I'm going to get some breakfast, but I'll see you gentlemen around, okay?
The Ness?
Wilbs did that?
The Wilbs did that.
With Ness culture.
With Ness culture.
We got to go to Ness culture, bro.
Do you ever feel lonely when you're not alone?
I've been in many situations like that, and like I said, it goes back to something I spoke to earlier. It's like I'm a very eccentric individual in certain aspects of life. So a lot of times I'm in circles or I'm around people and I'm talking about things that they just don't get, and it makes me feel lonely when I try to explain it to them and they still kind of don't get it, you know. And the things that I'm telling them about are things that I see that will help them in their personal life. But it's like it feels kind of lonely to be the only person like kind of like preaching what we all need to do in a circle, you know. And everybody else is just kind of like going through the motions. And I'm like, going through the motions will make you feel good today. What I'm talking about will have you great for the rest of your life. So why don't we all kind of like pull back and listen to what Alex is saying? You know, the smart Alex, you know, like, but that makes me feel lonely a lot of times because I feel like I do a lot of research. I listen to a lot of things and in a lot of circles that I still, you know, put myself in. I'm the only person thinking about tomorrow. Everybody else is thinking about today.
Yeah. What about you, Sense? Do you ever feel lonely when you're not alone?
All the time, bro.
Yeah, all the time?
All the time, bro. Like, not specifically, I could think back last year. I'm in a club with my niggas. And as soon as I get into the club, like, that shit was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, what is going on here? You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. Like, the music and this shit is just tied to purpose, right? For me, like, it's just like the music that was going off. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, the music, the shit is supposed to be you. Like, what are you doing with your life? To the point where you in the club and like the music go off and it affects you in some type of way. Not that I'm, you know, hating on niggas who doing what they supposed to do, but it's like, bro, that you gotta get more in tune with yourself and what the fuck you supposed to be doing here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you in the club, you know, these niggas, they get to talking to the they get to talking to the work. All right, boom. It's like, excuse me, I don't want to offend any ladies, but that's how we refer to the work.
Fuck them hoes. Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, no, I sensitive the word. So I get talk to work. Oh, I got to kind of chime in. Oh, I really don't want to chime in, but fuck it, I'm here, whatever. Mm-hmm. But that's when I felt most alone. You know what I'm saying? In spaces where I feel like I'm not doing what I'm here to do.
Yeah.
You know That's just simple and plain, bro. It's like,
Daddy-o.
I'm in that motherfucker. I'm like, these niggas, and it's crazy because it's like when you get there, bro, if you really wide awake and in tune with yourself, you kind of, as soon as you get into the line, before the nigga the security gets to go out to checking you and shit, you like, man, what the fuck is like really going on? Like, damn, I can't believe I'm really in this line. So yeah, I think in the club, bro, anywhere where, you know, where people occupy spaces, I don't give a fuck. It could be in a grocery store or something like that, bro. Like, and you picking out a certain item, like you picking out something way healthier than than you know what I'm saying, what they picking out. It's like, oh fuck. Like, I'm not supposed to be here, you know what I'm saying? So
Yep. I was on video chat with a chick, and I asked her what she was having for dinner, and she said this, and she was eating potato chips, and I was like, what am I doing with my life? I was like, what am I doing with my life?
Like, come on, nigga,
bitch, chips are not dinner, bitch. You're an adult.
What is going on?
What is going on here?
What the fuck is going on, bro? So,
this can't be life.
Bro, that's exactly when I really realized, and that's not the first time, but that's just the most recent moment when I was been in a club environment, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are those? You know what I mean? So,
I definitely, I feel that way too about clubs and, you know, really crowded bars. If it's like going out with some friends and I feel like obligated to go, and then I go, then that can feel lonely. Like,
absolutely.
It's like, whereas, alternatively, I'll go to a bar by myself just for the purpose of drinking and talking to random people.
Right.
And we'll have, like, such a great time. But I think it's all about the expectations going in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a rave would be fun because everyone's on Molly and it makes everyone, like, hug. And
Peely keeps trying to get us to go to she's like, at least go to day one. Like, she was just talking about that with me the other day.
Yeah.
She's like, you guys should come out here and try to podcast or something. I was like, bro, our podcast is not set up to be at a rave. Bro.
Well, we could bring the little wireless like mics and do little like interviews with people on drugs.
So yeah, we could interview people, but it couldn't be like the podcast.
No. But could be funny. Yeah, I've never been to a rave. I'd be down to check it out. Yeah.
They got one in Vegas in May.
The EDC? Yeah, I'm down to that. That's like the big one. I think.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah. That's literally what she said. Literally and figuratively. Has trying to be there for a loved one that is feeling lonely ever left you feeling lonely?
I'm not gonna say a lot, but it definitely have. How I'm gonna interpret this question is like, I've tried to be there for people who didn't want to be there for themselves.
Yeah,
and then they made it like a burden on me because it's like
rubs off on you.
It's nothing. I could come with the perfect answer for their exact problem, and they would come with a different problem for that. Like the solution. It's like, oh, but what about this? I'm like, that doesn't even matter. Like, just do what I just said. If you do what I just said, when you boil it down, the problem you have is fixed in that moment. If you just do with this, I know, but what about this other stuff? Oh, okay, well, shit, I don't know. What about it? Like, you know, at a certain point, it's like, what about it? Like, I'm trying to help you, and you don't want the help that I'm giving you. You're calling me about help. I'm giving you the help. And I don't know if it's because it's seeming too simplified to you or what. You're not taking the help. So it's like you want to feel like this. And I feel like at this point, you're trying to drag me into it so that I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to collect motherfuckers. You know? So that's my experience. It's like people feeling lonely that you care about and then them trying to like dump more loneliness than they even have onto you. It's like they want you to feel lonelier than they feel when you went in.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like if you don't understand how much despair I'm feeling right now, then you just don't get it. And it's like
misery loves company.
Yeah, it's like the problem you have. I just gave you a solution.
Yeah.
Not even like a fucking like medication for it. I gave you a cure for what you're talking about, and you don't want the cure. So it's like you want to be sick. So I can't argue or debate or worry about that. I hate to say it, but people you care about, sometimes you got to give them space because they don't care enough about themselves for you to care about them.
That's heavy. How about you, Stunts?
I mean, shit, bro. I piggyback. Like, it's really. I could say no if we talk about yes or no, but no, because it actually makes me embrace my rarity. Right? It's like, okay, well, you know how to deal with situations and circumstances differently based on your experience. Now, it does make me feel like sad for them because they haven't went through it yet. But I remember like specifically the days where an elder would come to us and be like, "Oh well, I went through so and so," and then you would embrace that, right? And then you would try your hardest to not make the same mistakes. Nowadays, it's like, no, I just want to make the mistake. Like, regardless of, who has the wisdom, I want to make this mistake. I just want to go through. I'm so in need of going through this process. Like, no, you don't. This is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to actually educate you. Each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? But that's a saying that was before this whole social media shit, before all this shit, it became like God to people. It's like, this is what our foundation was built upon. And this is how people were able to actually progress. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, physically, so, spiritually. But it's like now, it's like, oh, I actually want to crash out just so I can know how it feels to do so. Which makes absolutely fucking no sense, right? But, I mean, if you like it, I love it, right? I'm come from that era, like, oh, if you like it, I love it, dogs. But, no, it actually empowers me to kind of like, not kind of, but it empowers me to speak to those who are receptive to the message that I'm trying to deliver. You know what I'm saying? And build with them. And it's not to ostracize those who won't, but it's just to say, okay, this is where the rooms where I belong in. You know what I'm saying? This is and that's the room that you ain't ready for. You ain't ready to walk in. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, but no, I really don't feel lonely because somebody else, what I'm saying, was feeling lonely. But
Yeah.
I empathize with them at the same time. Like, I understand, like, the process, because, again, I ain't gonna act like I'm perfect, nigga. I was ignorant as fuck at one point to be like, okay, yeah, I didn't even get it. But now that I understand the process and to be more receptive, it's like, nah, I don't feel. I feel like shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, buddy. Rolling like a big shot.
Yeah, I think definitely, maybe not lonely, but it can be exhausting. It trying to convey.
That's a good word.
Yeah, which I guess not lonely exactly, but maybe lonely in that struggle to try to, like, I'm like the one who's trying to help you out, and you're like maybe alienating people or whatever, like,
right.
And I'm trying to help you see what actions, what's like the cause and effect here, and then you just rejecting that, and then it makes me feel, I guess, lonely and in the process of like, well, I'm the one trying to help, and this isn't fucking. We're not digging out of this hole.
Right.
It's like you told me what your problem is.
Yeah.
I know what's going on, and I'm giving you a solution.
Yeah.
And you don't want to accept it, and it's like okay.
Yeah. and move on.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's like, I still love you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah. Absolutely. What are some of the most common misconceptions about loneliness?
Misconceptions about loneliness.
Yeah.
I think they think that unpopular and ugly people only get lonely. But me, as a very handsome, very rich man, I get lonely too. You know, us beautiful people get lonely too. For all you ugly people to think that this exclusively for you, no, it's lonely being beautiful too. It's like, think about it. It's hella ugly people in the world. It's only a few people that look as good as me. Like, it's very lonely here. Yeah, y'all want to answer the question?
Because I'm beautiful.
Yeah, pretty much. You feel me?
What do you think, Sons? Common misconceptions about loneliness.
Bro, is that, to me, it's like loneliness is like the absolute, lowest of the low, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm lonely, so I have to actually like isolate myself to a point of no return, right? It's like I don't even want to be here. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gets me. Nobody understands me. No, actually, to be honest, bro, that's exactly when you find yourself. You actually able to lock in, like, okay, I get to figure this shit out. And like I was saying earlier, you get to figure this shit out with you. How the fuck, bro? That could never be the case in terms of, oh, I'm the world. Fuck the world. You got you. God created the world, and in turn created you. So what are you concerned about the world for? You got to understand that you are a part of something greater.
You gotta understand the microphone over there.
Fuck that. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, nigga, I fuck the mic. Fuck all that shit.
This recording artist act like he don't know how to use a microphone.
Listen, I don't know. Hey, look, she know how to use a microphone. You know what I'm saying? I actually despise mics. Anyway, so like I said, in terms of the misconception, it's like this is when you able to actually drown out the noise, bro. How many times you get to just open your feed, my nigga, and you get a gang of shit that ain't in alignment with nothing that you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get a gang of shit. It's not just one thing. It's like, bro, a gang of shit. Imagine you thinking about generational wealth, and then you log on into the gram, right? And they got a gang of booty in your face.
Whoa! Well, pause.
Right? No, but I'm just saying,
no
right? It's like this shit don't have nothing to do with what you're aiming for. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand, bro. If you can just shut this shit off, you get to be at peace with your thoughts. I'm from that era where before this shit jumped off, like you had to just sit with yourself, and you had to be at peace with whatever it is that you was going through. I don't give a fuck whether you were straight, gay, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the fuck. You had to just be at peace with yourself, and I think that to the point where, nigga, you just had to embrace it. You got to embrace it. Yeah. So at the end of the day, no, the misconception is just, oh, I'm lonely. I got to get out of here, and I got to end it all. No, when you get lonely, that's when you start to begin it all. You know what I'm saying? You get to fucking figure out, okay, man, this is what I need to do. I need to wiggle over here, boop, get over that. I need to go over here. I don't want to fuck that bitch no more. All right, boop, I'm about to go fuck with. You know what I'm saying? You get clarity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so
loneliness will give you clarity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Depending on how you perceive it. And
that's the main thing I wanted to speak to with what you're saying is like, he's saying everything right, but it's like how you perceive your loneliness.
Right.
It's like if you soak in it and you become self-loathing in your loneliness,
right,
now it's detrimental.
Absolutely.
But when you see the opportunity in isolation that can get you to where you want to be, to get you around the things you want to be, to have the things that you want to have in your life, loneliness is the best thing for you. Because I fired a bunch of my bitches recently because I got to get focused.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was too distracted.
Yeah.
So I had to like lock it in and get focused on what matters. And I was on the phone with too many situations. So I had to cut that down because I'm trying to give everybody their time so they stay where they need to stay, and I just had to let the shit go.
Absolutely.
Because it was detrimental to where I want to be. You know, I was giving them some of the stuff that they needed, but I was losing a lot of what I need.
Yeah.
So I
gotta find your zen.
Yeah. Gotta find that equilibrium.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with pretty much all that. Like, no Diddy. Okay. We're taking a quick bubbler break here, and we're back. How does social media impact loneliness? Does it help or make it worse? We kind of spoke on that a little bit, Stunts, but what do you think if there's pros and cons with social media in relation to loneliness?
It's just
I got some homies that's some cons.
It's just, fire off, dude.
I'm saying I got homies that's pros, like I got professional rappers, professional hoopers, and I got homies that's cons, professional criminals, like convicts,
Yeah.
So everything got pros and cons, like I got pros and cons.
Yeah. So social media.
How
How
what
does
was
it
he talking
impact
about?
loneliness?
Yeah. See, social media, what it does is it gives everybody their highlight reel. And if you perceive somebody's highlight reel as their entire life, it'll make you feel like your life is not it. Your life ain't worth living, or your life ain't where it need to be because you're looking at somebody's highlight reel. But sometimes you're looking at somebody's highlight reel and it's not even their highlight reel. They piggybacking off of somebody else shit. They done snuck into something. They lying, cheating, and stealing to be able to put that image out to you. And it's like if you're a sincere, honest individual, and you actually knew what some of them people had to do to portray that shit, you wouldn't want it anyway because you wouldn't want to jeopardize your integrity like that. And I feel like a lot of people need to understand that, if you keep your head down and, like you said, utilize some of that loneliness to push you to do what you got to do for you and find out what you want to do instead of looking left and right, look within and find out what you want. And if you want to take a trip to Turk and Caicos, or you want to fucking go to Tulum, figure out how you can get there. Don't worry about how somebody else got there or what they did when they was there. Figure out what you want to do and do the stuff you want to do regardless of what somebody else is doing. And I feel like social media shows you too much of what other people are doing. And if you consume too much of what other people doing, you try to do what other people doing. And if you really bring it all the way back, it wasn't even something you wanted to do.
Yeah.
It was something you saw somebody else do, so now you're trying to do what somebody else did. Yeah. Instead of doing what you want to do.
Stunts, what do you think? Social media and loneliness.
Shit makes it worse. It makes it worse. And I seen a post where Bussy was talking about, like, you used to just see your bitch, but now you just see 50,000. You see 50,000 other bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy because.
Yeah, I see a thick ass Asian bitch,
bro.
It
makes it. Of course, it depends on the person, but we talking about the average American, right?
Yeah.
So it makes it worse on the average American.
Yeah,
my nigga, it just makes it worse. You get to see people living their life in a way where you are not. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it's a bungee jumping nigga on one of these continents, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's the thickest bitches on one of these continents, whether it's a whole lot of shit. To me, it will make it worse depending on your circumstance, right? Because how are you living? Right? How the fuck are you living at the present moment compared to something that these people had to work for to get to? You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it's in the future. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, nigga, I get to live in I get to live in the, no, you need to be present in the fucking moment.
Yeah.
Period, point blank. There's nothing more greater than the present is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why it's called the present.
Yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery. So the present is a gift, and if you're not conscious of that, then shit, you doomed. So I feel like for the average, it makes it worse, considering all the shit that's going on, whether it's the Trump, you know what I'm saying, versus Zelensky, you know what I'm saying, debate or whatever you want to put it.
God, that was...
You feel what I'm saying? So
this is probably going to air way after. There's probably going to be like a bunch of other stuff
you know
when we're recording.
So, but it's like...
I feel like we brought him up so much in this season, but like this is the season to bring him up. Like he just got here, so it's going to be a lot of fucking
that's the
references.
thing, right? It's like, okay, it's the season to bring him up. But what if... Nigga, who's going to bring you up? You might... fucking fall and collapse. You might fucking break a leg tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You might have a seizure tomorrow. Who's gonna bring you up? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What or the shit that you've accomplished in your life? Who's gonna bring you up? So I feel like it makes it worse because you get to see Trump living his life. Nigga, he had that same toupee since 2000, before 2000, right?
Man, that
you know what I'm saying?
Thin.
Nigga, he was in the Stormy Daniels, blah blah blah, whatever the case may be, right? And to the point where he still gets the opportunity to be reelected, right, by the masses. Don't get me started. Yeah. But the point is, it's like it makes it worse on the average motherfucker. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And that is deep. It's like average versus above average. What is average to you and what is above average to you? You know what I'm saying? What is like living to you and what is like just existing to you? Yeah. You feel me? So it's a whole lot of deeper, I don't know, fucking layers to it, right? Mm-hmm. Like Meek Mill was saying, like, bro, it's layers to this shit, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, to me, it makes it worse on the average motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. And I think the next question is, what role does modern technology play in both creating and alleviating loneliness? And I think just with all the social media stuff, like, you know, the internet, old internet was great. And I think it had
Oregon Trail. Well, that wasn't the internet.
That was computers. But like early chat rooms, because then it, like the good thing with it was, you know, there's no one in my town. I live in this little town, and I'm super into dressing up like a furry and having sex with people or whatever. And those people couldn't have connected before without the internet. You know. Or, you know, whatever your hobby is. That was kind of a weird thing to bring up, but...
No, we know you.
Yeah,
we know what you're doing on your weekends.
Thank you for seeing. I feel seen. But yeah, it started out as something good, but just with these algorithms and, you know, and a lot of with American culture, the consumerist culture and materialism and like, look, he has this big, amazing thing and he's posting it on social media and then everyone wants to aspire to that. I think it's, I mean, it was like already there with like Lifestyles Rich and Famous and that type of shit like back in the day.
Yeah, but it was like one show and it was one person on that show.
Exactly.
Now it's like somebody that you knew from across the street or somebody that's a rapper, you know. Yeah,
it's like a culture, like it's like just seeped into like all of the culture and the algorithms like drum things up to make people feel inadequate.
You want to know something crazy about that?
What?
Is that's the beginning of fucking social media flexing. Because Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous, they were cribs. Oh yeah. Most of those people didn't even have that crib. They used to like rent those cribs for them people to show on cribs. Like it wasn't even their fucking house. Like that was a real thing.
It's like when I take a picture of my screen with like some palm trees on it and I'm like in Hawaii chilling, like checked in Hawaii, you know, just flexing on everybody. But,
flex.
Creating bro, I come from the Black Planet days, right? So
Black Planet cat smashing.
Like it's really different. When creating it, it's like, okay, nigga, you just put the name on, you don't have the face, right? But that shit right there in itself is like creating a world where anonymity, right? It's like anonymity is like everything at that point. But then when you put the face, right, to the person, that can either alleviate or create a world. You know what I'm saying? Because you get the motherfucker who's actually who they are, and then you get the person who's not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Just trying to portray themselves as something.
it just depends on the person, right? It's like, okay, creating. You just gotta. Well, it gets so deep, but it's actually, to me, it's alleviating a lot of, in this today's time. It's alleviating because you can put whatever the fuck, you can put a Pokemon character up on your profile picture and say whatever the fuck you want to say, right? And then that's alleviating because nobody will ever figure out who actually you are. But back in my day, you had to be actually who you know what I'm saying, who you were.
Yeah.
So it's like it depends on who you are in each state, and it's crazy. Fuck, bro, this shit is like
It's it.
It's really that's the prime. That's the word to really use. It's like, it's really sick because it's like, nigga, you could just do whatever the fuck and be, nah, bro, that shit don't even apply to the era I came from.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
you just had to just actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Like Nike, nigga. So it's like, I think it's alleviating today's age, bro.
Cool. Any final thoughts on loneliness? Yes.
Let's see if our guest has any last points he wanted to make before I do my last little hoorah. So, safely stunts. Do you got any last words for us about loneliness?
Fuck loneliness.
Yeah. No rubber.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Real talk. Like, loneliness to me, like, bro, it's it's just a perspective.
Yep.
It is nothing more than a perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna let a perspective dictate the way that you start or end your life, crash the like, you know what I'm saying? Like, pack it in, nigga.
Yeah.
But
Drop the loneliness.
no,
Pick
like,
up the
bro,
solitude.
it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's like, fuck the lonely, embrace you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Love you,
We need a new
embrace
pen.
you, and figure it out, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when you say, "Oh, does it affect men more than the only difference is that we as men, we just gotta figure it out, right? We don't have no motherfucker pulling up and some shit to figure it out for us. Like, oh, yeah, I see you's a baddie, and you know what I'm saying, you got excellent, you know what I'm saying, amount of potential, and you let me hit it a couple times, I might, you know what I'm saying, I might put you on to something. But it's like, bro, you just gotta figure this shit out. It's not like rocket scientists, my nigga. Is the fuck loneliness is just a perspective. It's something that another male or woman made up. It's a word. It's nothing more than a word. It has nothing to do with your essence as a human being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, isolation doesn't make you lonely. Like you said, it's how you see it.
right,
Because that isolation could be focus.
right.
That's what that could be. It can't. It might not even be loneliness. It might be focus.
Absolutely.
You focus on where you're going. So with you being focused, you don't need a bunch of distractions around you. So you can get where you're going. But if you soaking, then you allow somebody else to tell you that it's loneliness.
Right.
Now you're lonely. Now you feel sad. Now you feel despair. Now you feel alone.
Right.
When really you were locked in. So stunts, safely stunts. This is the What's Your Ness podcast, Diddy Juice bottle. And we would like you to sign this.
I don't feel comfortable. Perspective. But I will.
bro.
Hey,
Sign this
cause
right.
hey, look, cause it's a nigga. Only cause it's a nigga from where I'm from, bro. This ain't Bashan. What the fuck am I doing, bro?
You press it down.
Nigga, this shit.
Press down on it.
Blood.
That's what Diddy said.
Bruh, stop it.
Nigga, this shit is not here.
All right.
We great to get
Nigga done ran out of ink. My perspective ain't fucked up, blood.
We'll have you sign it next time you're over here.
Look, it's in it's
This is us.
It's there.
It's SS
It's
like
present,
Camaro.
my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we like to give every guest that comes on the show a little token of our appreciation from Ness Culture Clothing, and what we're giving out is Ness Culture car air fresheners in the shape of the Ness Culture socks, as you clearly see.
Interesting.
And we're going to give you the Warriors color Ocean, and we have a purple lavender car air freshener. Lavender is great for relaxation, and go Warriors. Splash Ocean.
Absolutely.
You know?
Steph just dropped 56 on.
Bruh, hard on them boys. You feel me? 12 threes on their whole ass.
Oh, that's laughable to me. Niggas always dropping 60 on the fucking lower tier teams. Bro, I want to see that nigga drop 60 on the Thunder, blood.
Man, the Thunder low bridge him.
Stop playing.
Yeah, hey, bro, you don't disrespect me from my family, nigga. From my family, nigga.
Like I ain't seen a nigga do that shit 4 times before. Oh my god, Spinny.
Yes.
He was queuing you up to queue me up.
Alex.
What's up?
What's
Loneliness.
Last thoughts on loneliness, Alex?
Okay. I thought the conversation was going to go a little bit different, but Stunts gave me a lot of insight. Now I'm starting to look at it a little bit different, and I agree, man. If you find yourself in loneliness, shift your perspective, and if you can shift your perspective a little bit to understand that your loneliness doesn't mean that you're alone. It could mean that you're focused. In that moment, you're choosing happiness. Because you can spiral into sadness and despair because you're loneliness, or you can lock it in and get where you want to go so that you can have your happiness, and choosing happiness can happen in choosing loneliness. That's what Stunts has been preaching this whole entire episode, is that you can find your happiness in your loneliness if you lock it in, focus, what you want and what you want to get out of this moment of loneliness to bring you into where you want to be as a person, as a man, as a woman, as an adult, So from Ness Culture, What's Your Ness podcast, Safely Stunts, Spinny, and Alex Great, I want you to find your loneliness and choose your happiness.
Woo! Great show.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're feeling lonely, we are always here to talk. Use hours and hours of our voices pontificating about all kinds of shit.
If you subscribe, you're guaranteed to get a blowjob from the next girl you see.
The Ness girl you see.
Yes.
Hey. All right, folks.
Nessie.
Have a good night out there. No, I never get lonely. That's fucking bullshit.
Oh, well, I'm lonely right now. Can we have a conversation?
Get the fuck out of here.
Wow. Wow, really? You said get the fuck out of here?
Yeah. We're still recording.
Why did he do me like that, bro? I thought, see, bro, this is what I'm talking about, bro.
No,
This is
no.